You all remember when the entire PlayStation community and the gaming media said that the reason why Black Myth Wukong did not come to Xbox was because of the Series S? You all remember that? You all remember when J-Dub said this? Black Myth Wukong is a PlayStation console exclusive. That's crazy. Developers couldn't get it running on the Xbox Series S, I guess. When he said it's an exclusive for PlayStation 5 because the Series S can't run it. When all these ponies, week after week, kept saying that the Series S can't run Black Myth Wukong, it's too weak. That was the cry. Well, take a look at this. Then what is this, ponies? What is this? Where is Nib, who laughed at the guy who would have made a PC comparable with the Series S and who proved that the Series S could run Black Myth Wukong? Where is Nib? All of these ponies with their false narrative throughout the years and throughout the months, where are they now? Can't you see the image on your screen right now that the Xbox Series S is running Black Myth Wukong at a solid 60 FPS, smooth like Egyptian silk? I mean, it just goes to show how game science lied. There is no way this game could run so good in that short space of time, and you guys said you guys was having issue. Look at this. So the so-called nibs of the world who claims to be intellectual and the Reforge of the world who claims to be intellectuals, look at this. You guys have a big head for nothing. As the Series S continue to expose all these ponies and jabronis, we are seeing another exposure happening, because when persons say that the Xbox stocks isn't real, I mean, they just don't want to see it. The Xbox stocks is real. You know how we know that? Take, for example, when Sony would have announced that they are going to raise the price of their consoles. Yes, if it is you want to buy a PlayStation 5 or a PlayStation 5 Pro, you will spend more money today than you did last week. But notice how Jeff Keighley responded to when Xbox raised their prices. Notice what he said. He said Xbox is raising prices on Series S and Series X hardware up to 80 to 100 US dollars. Some first-party Xbox games will be going up to 80 later this year. So, I mean, Jeff Keighley was excited. He was happy to report that Xbox was raising their prices. He didn't give any context as to why they're raising it. He didn't give his opinion as to why he thinks this might be happening. But he just lay it out there. But notice how he said it with Sony. He said, prices on PlayStation hardware will increase $50 effective tomorrow due to tariffs and a challenging economic environment. And then he goes on to list how much money a PlayStation 5, a PlayStation 5 Pro would be going for. So here we have Jeff Keighley saying, you know guys, don't worry about it, it's because of the tariffs. So the reason why Microsoft raised their box wasn't because of the tariffs too, Jeff Keighley? You ponies are dusty, you ponies are musty. We are seeing that clear. As we talk about the price increase for the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro, let's look at that compared to what Xbox is offering. So the basic PlayStation 5 is $550, while the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition would be $500, while the PlayStation 5 Pro would be a whopping, an enormous $749 or $750. When compared to the Xbox Series consoles, you're seeing that the base model is still the cheapest current gen console on the market with $379 or $380. When you look at the 1TB version, that's $429 or $430, and then you will see the basic Xbox Series X, that is $550, and the Xbox Series X going up there is $599, $600. So when it is you look at Even the special edition Series S is $750. Whenever you look at all of these prices, you see how Microsoft prices are very much comparable with the new prices there at PlayStation. But it just goes to show how this is a different generation now. The generation is unlike any other generation. Every generation before this, prices was going down. Well, guess what? This generation say, you know what, we're going to flip it on its head. It's going up. Yes, if you want to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro, you won't be spending $750 if it is you want a complete console. No, you would be spending an extra $80 for the disk drive. So really and truly, a PlayStation 5 Pro with the disk drive, with the stand, will come up to more than $800. You know, that is not including tax or anything. $800. Wow. So brace your pockets, you ponies and jabronis. If it is you want to buy a PlayStation 5 Pro, you need to go and sell your liver. But you know what's interesting, guys? Seeing the PlayStation community try to defend this. Listen to how these PlayStation guys are trying to cope with this here. Listen to MBG.
Sony clearly just wants to get this out there, you know, hoping it doesn't make waves. You know, the one thing I will say about this is when we think about Sony increasing the price even by $50, yeah, the PlayStation 5 Pro price is crazy now. You know, I actually do believe Sony didn't want to do this. And I say this because I think this is actually, I don't think it's going to dramatically hurt their sales, but I think it's going to certainly have some kind of dampening effect where there's going to be no way around the headlines that Sony just increased the price of the PS5. And the PS5 is like a, you know, it's going to be a 5-year-old console. The Pro was already shocking people. At a $700 price point, now it's going up. I do believe that Sony didn't want to do this because, again, it's going to dampen their sales a little bit. You would even think that Sony would want to wait until like next year to announce this, closer to something like GTA 6 releasing. You know, could they lower the prices if the situation with the tariffs and, you know, just economically speaking, if things change, would they change the pricing? I think they would, yeah. I think the moment Sony can decrease the price, they will.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
But I do think that this is an effort to maintain breaking even on their consoles or just losing very little money on each console sold. I think this also explains why Sony's CEO, Hiroki Totoki, went on record earlier this year saying that we're no longer focused on selling units, but monthly active users, or MAUs. Sony saw the writing on the wall. They knew that this is probably going to be the outcome. They understand that the PlayStation 6 is going to be a much tougher sell because of the pricing. The PS5 Pro right now is a tough sell, and the PS5 going up in price 5 years into the generation, you know, it makes the climb to get to that 100 million units sold that much more difficult.
SMBG is very concerned about PlayStation sales and if they can reach 100 million. He is concerned that Sony was doing the right thing. They're such a loyal, such a faithful, such an honest company. Wow, 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 wow. MBG, stop sniffing glue. Now guys, if you're liking what you are hearing, what you're seeing, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button as we are on our goal to reach 500 or 5,000 rather subscribers. So if this type of content interests you, please consider hitting that subscribe button today. So this week's at Gamescom, we would have learned a lot about the Xbox handheld. Yes, the ROG Xbox Ally X will be coming out on October the 16th. We know the prices are $899 and $550 respectively. Now that is not surprising prices, and I'll prove it just now. But there has been a lot of confusion concerning this particular handheld, and persons are thinking that they can't play their games natively on this whatsoever. Well, let Sarah Bond answer that.
We have a ton of games that you can play on the ROG. Obviously, we have all of our games that are Xbox Play Anywhere. You can play it on console, you can play it on PC, you can play it on handheld, you can stream it over the cloud, which is awesome. Also, all the other major PC storefronts are going to be on here, so people are going to be able to play their libraries across Xbox, but also other stores like Steam and Ubisoft Connect and Battle.net and everywhere else. So that's
He coming down! Hey, what you doing on Beale Street? Ooh, turn them up, baby. Bow, bow. Ooh, look at the move, baby. Look at the move, baby. Oh, turn that leg. Bow, bow, bow. Ooh, look at this spin. Where you going, baby? Bow, bow, bow. Ooh, ha ha. Look at that move, baby. Check out. Bow, 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 bow. Rodeo. Step on, Bill. Ooh.
That's going to be very exciting. So finally, people are going to be able to play. They can play natively.
Hold on, Sarah. Did you just say natively? But everyone on Twitter, the ponies and the PlayStation fans, told me they can't play Xbox games natively. Could you repeat that again?
That's going to be very exciting. So finally, people are going to be able to play. They can play natively, they can play over the cloud, or they can play with remote play.
Yeah, I can't wait to play a lot of my games natively on there.
Gotcha.
So there you have it. We understand that the Xbox ROG Ally X can play your games natively. We found out it would be releasing on October the 16th, and we also saw the price. Now, concerning the price, a lot of persons are upset. A lot of persons are basically mocking, or laughing at Xbox fans because of the price. Well, look at this stat here. When we look at this table, we see it's a lot of fake outrage. The ROG Xbox Ally is very much comparable with the Valve Steam Deck in price and features, and the ROG Xbox Ally X is very much comparable with the MSI Claw A8 in price and specs. When we see the overview, we see the ROG Ally is $550, aligned with the Steam Deck's OLED 1TB variant, and also the ROG Ally X is very much comparable with the Claw, as was said before. So when it is these ponies are saying that this is so high, rather the Xbox ROG Ally and the Xbox ROG Ally X is similar with other consoles in that space, which is the PC handheld space, the console PC hybrid space. It's very much similar with it. So if persons are angry with Xbox for bringing this at this price, then they have to be angry with all the rest of PC handhelds or the rest of PC console hybrids, what have you. So let me hear what you guys thought about what was said today. Let me hear what you guys thought about the PlayStation 5 going up in price after 5 years. Or are you going to purchase the ROG Ally X or the ROG Ally? Let me know in the comment sections below. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.